Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We got a brand new type of card in Hockey Ultimate Team that we are going to break down called the Tuesday Tilt. A really cool new addition to Hockey Ultimate Team, so we'll go down how those cards are going to work, and then we'll go over all the new prime times and if they had any X Factor implications. If you guys like the video, make sure you give it a like. Let me know what you think of the Tuesday Tilt down in the comments section. All right, guys, let's get into the new content. We'll start first with the new prime times. We got the 89 Tavo Teravainen with Gladiator and Light the Lamp, as well as Booming Shot. I'm not going to lie, in terms of left-handed wingers, there's not a lot of huge, amazing left-handed wingers, so the size on that left wing isn't going to be all that detrimental. 92 speed, 93 acceleration, sorry, and a really good shot over 90. So for anyone that is just starting out, you have a free-to-play team, those kinds of things, this isn't a bad option for you, and you should be able to get them for the base price, which is around 40,000 coins. And then we've got the 96 primetime Sidney Crosby with Thief, as well as Buzzing with Close Quarters and Gold Crease Crasher. Now, Crease Crasher, not a big fan of because it's just so situational and it isn't really accurate on when it lights up. Like, I know a lot of these abilities, guys, they light up. I don't know what they actually do. Like, do they raise stats? Do they add in animations? That's why I don't trust any of the zone abilities that don't really show that. Close quarters seems to be pretty effective, though, because of World of Chell, so it is something very noticeable for World of Chell. So if you are someone who likes to fire low for rebounds, this is a decent one. And you can take this. It does impact the shot above the face-off dot, so it's not like you have to be very, very close. So that does help out there. Speed is at 93 on this card, and acceleration 92. It's the same thing with Sidney Crosby cards, though. It's just he's going to be a little bit smaller for you. And if you've been watching my stats, my stat experiment in Hockey Ultimate Team, smaller centers just I struggle with. I don't know if you guys do. I know people have said Sidney Crosby cards aren't bad. I'm not gonna lie. If you like Crosby, though, this is a fine primetime. The X Factor is still just not worth it at all, in my opinion, because when you get up to 96, first of all, it's going to cost you 6 power-up collectibles to go from 95 to 96, and his speed synergies, he doesn't get 2 of them. And then his abilities, Elite Edges is nice, Unstoppable Force, even Tape to Tape, but Backhand Beauty, again, very tough, because if you get him in position to do the backhand wrap, like, that's going to go in no matter what, even without this ability activated. Now, it does help that it was brought down in price, but still, you can see, just not really worth it. I'd much rather have some of the other ones, and you're going to spend less coins than bring this all the way up. But if you are a Penguin fan or a Crosby fan, I totally get it, and it's not like he's an awful card. I just think that there are better investments for you. All right, let's get into the Tuesday Tilt. So it does look like these are going to be cards that come out every Tuesday, and I've got to say, that's phenomenal because Tuesday is awful, usually the worst content day. So Gaudreau versus Zuccarello in tonight's matchup between the Flames and the Wild. They get +1 overall for every assist that these guys get for a maximum upgrade of +3 overall. Customizable synergy slot and superstar ability added to the player leading the stat category at the end of the night. And the featured game is Calgary versus Minnesota, obviously. So the one thing I will say is that obviously the choices tonight not as exciting because they're really fun cards, but if you are, again, trying to build up your team to have the most competitive, they're obviously not going to be very competitive cards because they are very, very small in Zuccarello and Gaudreau. But I am making a point on my channel to forget about all the meta crap, and we'll go over these cards because they do look like they are pretty fun, and they're very similar, so I will give them that. But it's assists, so that is going to be, tough. I don't know. I mean, obviously, if someone gets 1 assist, that's pretty huge. So let's take a look at the cards and see. I will say this. I love this idea because anything that brings in some featured, content or games with the real NHL, I'm all about that. That's why EVO is always my favorite event. So we'll take a look at this Johnny Gaudreau. He's got Gladiator and Booming Shot right off the rip, and that gives him 95 speed, 95 acceleration, max agility, and he's got Elite Edges. Like, even without upgrading at all, I still think that this card is actually pretty okay, and if he does manage to get that extra, maybe, let's say he only needs 1 assist, he gets up to 93, speed will only go up by 0.5, so there's no guarantee unless he gets 2 assists in the game, and obviously that's pretty tough to do, just on this specific game. If he does lead the category, though, he does get an extra synergy and ability, so that could be huge as well. But this is a really fun card. We'll see if there are any up on PlayStation 5 right now. I'm curious on what the cost is going to be. There isn't, so, that's kind of tough. But this does look like a pretty fun card, and we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. Opponent in the first Tuesday Tilt is Matt Zuccarello with Gladiator and Booming Shot. 5'8", 94 speed, 94 acceleration, max agility, good shot with puck on a string and third eye. Brutal abilities, in my opinion. So, in all honesty, like, he would have to win this battle, I guess, for him to be viable. And again, he's only 5'8", so it is going to be a little difficult. But I will say this: they do feel like they are snappier. But the Gaudreau with elite edges could be really, really fun. The one thing I will say about implementing this is that there just isn't any on the market because they're only going to be up for one day, and no one is ripping packs. So, like, I don't even know if any are going to be up on the market at all. So that might be something they might have to look into. I would love it if there was a way that we could make them. Like, let's say they start at 88 overall or something, and they can't be traded in for event collectibles, something like that. They're untradeable, and you've got to make a decision. Like, I don't know, like something like that would be kind of cool. Like, maybe you had to pay 50,000 coins, and you have to choose between one of these two, something like that. I don't know what it would be, maybe 100K. But I think that there is definitely a good idea here. I just think it needs to be ironed out a little bit more, but I really want to see how they keep continuing this throughout the rest of the season. I want to give my quick feedback on the team builder. So I made Keith Primo, and this card is phenomenal. He's got 5 goals in 5 games in Division 1 for me. I love the fact he's got truculence, tape to tape, and no contest is actually kind of sneaky for 1 ability point, because if he ever gets tied up in the slot, it immediately ends. And then I've actually liked close quarters so far because I'm just starting to fire low a lot. But this is everything that he is billed to be. If you are only able to make one, Keith Primo is the one that you should be making. Then we've got Braydon Coburn. Again, same situation. Just a really, really fun card. Stick 'em up has been phenomenal combined with Shutdown and 1T. I really like the combo here of all the abilities and his skating as well as his size. Just 2 of my favorite cards to use so far this year, and if you have the luxury of making 2, this is obviously going to be a slam dunk for you. I have not made the Mason Raymond. I hate the card choice. I can't stand that. Honestly, I can't stand they pick Braydon Coburn either. Like, if you covered up the names on these cards and you just, you put the stats, abilities, and the size, that's a perfect HUT card. But it's a team builder. It should mean more, and it kind of cheapens it with Mason Raymond. So, not a huge fan of that. So I'll stick with Duchesne and McDavid and be happy about it with Rantanen and Hurdle there. So just out on the Raymond because I'm not a fan of it, but these other 2 have been absolutely great for me. Guys, so that is going to do it for today's content. Let me know what you think of the Tuesday Tilt in the comments section down below, and give me your ideas on how you think it should work. Anyways, guys, I will see you next time. Have a good one.